What's up, everyone? Welcome to Young Bright Chats, also known as YBC Podcast. And we are your hosts who will be with you throughout the entire podcast.
I'm Matna.
And I'm Abdul Shakur Abdullah.
In this podcast, we talk with various young leaders, entrepreneurs, and activists in Tanzania. So buckle up, grab your paper and pen, and get ready to dive into a world full of skills, knowledge, ideas, and many more from our young changemakers in Tanzania. Let's go!
Welcome to our today's episode, and in this episode, as always, we have a young changemaker from the University of Dar es Salaam. He's a second-year university student, and he has done a lot of things in our communities. He's still doing a lot, and he's ready to share with us so that me and you can learn. And thank you for joining us today in this episode. Get ready, grab your paper and pen, and let's dive into a world full of volunteerism. Welcome, Abdul Shabani. It's really nice for you to join us in this episode and to be ready to share your ideas. And I know that you have a lot of things to do because you have school stuff to do, but also you have other things to do in our community for the betterment of our community. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And I'll give you some few minutes for the benefit of our listeners to explain more about yourself and more of what you do.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. First of all, my name is Abdul Shaban, as you have been introduced. I am a student pursuing Bachelor's of Commerce in Banking and Financial Services from the University of Dar es Salaam, and I'm actually in the second year, but I did diploma in biomedical engineering. Apart from studying, as you said, I'm really busy into doing extracurricular activities, and I've been engaging myself in different initiatives that are aiming at empowering young people, but also bringing positive impact to the community. I normally work with UNA Tanzania, which stands for Youth of United Nations Association, in different programs and different activities that we normally organize to bring young people closer to United Nations, but also to equip them with appropriate skills that are needed by the global market. So UNA Tanzania have been organizing a conference called Tanzania International Model UN. This is a simulation of UN General Assembly where young people meet to discuss global pressing issues and come up with resolutions. But also we've been organizing a series of symposium, different topics depending on the context in the international days that are being commemorated. But from UNA, I am into different initiatives. For instance, now I'm currently serving as a campaigner in a campaigning team for Hunger for Action, where we advocate into a world to prioritize a global food crisis. It should, for the young people, take initiatives for them to tackle the issue, but also how collectively we can end hunger, we can end the food crisis by 2030, as SDG says. So that is what I'm doing. I have a lot of initiatives that whatever that I see in my mind can help, first of all, bring positive impact to my community, but second, that can equip me with appropriate skills every day. So I'm keep learning, but also whatever I see that is have positive impact in the community, I am in. Yes, thank you so much.
That's wonderful. And I wish that someday every youth is able to do what you do.
Yeah,
and if we have many people who are doing what you do, our communities will be a better place for people and for the environment as well. And maybe can you share with others from the activities that you do, what do you think you get for you personally, but also for the community?
All right. So I started engaging in these initiatives ever since I was in Azania Secondary School. Actually, I was in Form 3. So I joined the club, UN Club, and I was just engaging in voluntary activities. And I can see the changes in me from ever since I've been engaging until now. First of all, I learned very practical public speaking. I've never been into the cloud and speak and be very confident. Now through that, I learned very practical, but also I practice most of the ways. And also I get things which you can hardly find in the education institutions, especially universities, secondary school. For instance, there are these soft skills which are highly needed by the global market. Now you can hardly find them into university. You normally learn the physical, maybe the physical subjects, like maybe you learn how to do welding, or you learn how to plant this, how to do this. But you can hardly find how can you pitch your idea and be marketable in an audience, or how can you communicate with different people in different perspectives. So these are the normal skills and very important, but you can hardly find in these university or education institutions. So I learn these skills every day. I get improved myself. But also, I think the other thing is I get exposed to different stakeholders, but also organizations, which is really good for me because I don't know in my near future I might be employed in these organizations, or I might get the big opportunities, which might make me thrive into my careers. And the last thing I think, which will be attractive to most of us young people, most of the time you get something from doing the projects. So yeah, it will really help me to cover my things while I'm in university, on top of the project that I'm doing and the skills I get, but also get something from the great thing that you're doing through those initiatives.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And most of the time you hear youth saying that I'm not doing this because it's not even impactful. I can't be cleaning a beach because some people will just throw away more trashes. So what do you think about this? Do you think what you do have impact to the communities, or
Yeah, what you said is very true because I just plant one tree. Now, what impact can I bring?
Yeah,
because it's one tree and the world has a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I can say the world generally cannot do one thing at a time to bring back about the impact, but through the individual efforts that you have to do, and then collectively, that is the impact that you can make. You said, I am Abdul, and if I plant one tree, that would not make any impact. But I know that someone somewhere will plant the same tree, and they collectively can make 100 or 1,000 or millions of trees, which collective can bring about tackling climate change. So I think, yeah, you can say it's not very practical because you can hardly see the impact in the short term.
Yeah.
But if you in the long run, you can see a lot of achievements, a lot of impacts. Even though it's not you, but in your future generation, that means sustainability. So do it now, and you can see the impact in the future. It can be you or your future generation. So yeah, I understand you can think that way, but whatever you're doing somewhere, someone is doing the same thing. And if you join those forces, it can bring about the impact. Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good advice for the youth. And do you face any challenges in doing these things? Maybe in universities, maybe not getting permission to do, or maybe sometimes you have just a lot of homeworks to do and still you have other things to do. What are the challenges you're facing?
Yeah, that is very obvious. Because I'm studying and I have the school timetable that I have to attend to. I have exams that I have to write. I have the assignments that I have to write and submit. And now still I have the project that is waiting for me to attend, or I have to travel, go somewhere and do the project. So yeah, it's a bit of challenge, but I normally get to it. And what I normally do, if I have exams and they really don't interfere with my timetable, so I normally write them, and then soon after I finish, I travel to that place that I need to. Or if I see that the test can be redone, which I don't advise because you can hardly get the special test or special exams. But if you see you can do that and the administration allows that, you can do that because you can get something there which is very practical and very impactful to your future. But the challenges are there, and what you have to do, just commit yourself. And for the good thing you have to do, achieve in your academic excellencies. So I can say I've been engaging in these activities ever since in secondary school, and I got 1.15. That was in Form 4, and in my diploma I got a GPA of 4.3, and I did biomedical engineering. So, and I was very busy. I was traveling, but I make sure if I get back to my university or to my institution, I have to study hard and cover up everything that I didn't cover during my travel. And here, even at UDism, like University of Dar es Salaam, I got GPA of 4.0 in my first year. So I can say I travel a lot, but I normally take in mind that you can do activities, but if you don't have education, that means you can hardly achieve in these activities that you are doing. So I encounter these challenges, like for academic timetables, they are really encounter with my activities, but also the other challenge is I normally go to the community in the schools and the other places. So you find people there, they talk to you and stuff, but next time you find them somewhere else, and they see like, oh, you're a student. Oh, I thought you were working somewhere. So like, it's really embarrassing me because I'm doing the project, but also I'm studying. Now people wouldn't expect me to study because they see that I'm employed this place. I'm a huge person. So I really like I normally have to be low key, but people take me high key, and when they find me somewhere like I'm writing the exam or I'm studying to do this, it's really But I get to it, and I normally help people that way.
So the way I see it is just time management and knowing what you do will just make you. And what are the advices that you have maybe to the students who they just don't know where to start, and maybe what skills do you think they should develop to get into this field of volunteerism?
All right. The key skill that it has to go very parallel with these activities is communication skills.
Yeah.
That is where you send the email. That is where you know how to text on WhatsApp. Maybe you have texted an MD or you have texted a manager somewhere. You are looking for an internship. Know what to communicate at what time and where and when should you communicate with these activities. So communication skills, I know it's being covered in universities or in different institutions, but if you do it practically, that will be good because the real world is is somehow different from the school that will be taught. So communication skills is very useful that you have to have, and it should go relevantly with. Yeah, we have to understand at least English because our now English language speaking and stuff. So we have to really be aware of the language, but also know how to communicate it. So yeah, that is the thing. And also the advice I would give. Yeah, I think we should really now start because the opportunities are normally digital. So most of my activities that I've been involved is most of them are coming from the online platform that I applied. So like I see the link, this is the application. I write down, I submit the application on time, and then I'm waiting for feedback, which is being sent on the email, which communication skills is now important.
Skills and digital skills.
Yeah, very important. So yeah, I normally be active, use the internet effectively to go into these platforms, which can help you get the skills, but also help you get the opportunities. There are a lot of them. If you Google them, you can get them. And don't say like, oh, if I apply this, I'll not get it. No, maybe it was meant to be with you. We have been into Who Care Actually program,
Yeah.
And I just saw it. I saw it like it cut across almost every group that I was, and I was like, if I apply today, will I get the chance to be selected? Because I've seen almost everywhere. But yeah, we applied and we've been called for interview and we made it, and now we are the fellows.
Yeah.
So yeah, and the last thing, network. That is, it's a key thing that you have to do. If you attend an event today and you have seen some people, try to network with them, try to know them, try to understand the organization they're working for, and try to see if there are any opportunities of you working with them. And don't focus on being paid. Focus first with the impact, but also the skills. So start with volunteering. It's not bad. It's good. And then in the near future, you'll get what you wanted to achieve. Yes.
Yeah, thank you. And that's really good advice for the people who are listening, but also to me as well. And talking about digital skills, communication skills, digital platforms like podcasts is a really important platform for you to learn wonderful things like this. And how can people get you maybe on Instagram? What do you use?
Oh yeah, so Facebook, Abdul Shabani Juma. Instagram, Abdul Shabani Juma. Twitter, Abdul Shabani Juma. LinkedIn, Abdul Shabani Juma. So every platform I'm into the same name.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And thank you so much for cooperating with us and in making sure that we bring impact to the world. And I am sure that many people will appreciate you and will appreciate the advice that you have given us. Thank you so much for coming and for joining us.
Thanks.
That's it for today's episode. We would like to give lots of thanks to our listeners for being with us throughout the episode, and a huge shout out to our teammates Waridi and Jerome who helped keep this podcast going.
Are you interested in contributing or being featured in our podcast?
Contact us through our Instagram under ybc.podcast.
That is ybc.podcast. And folks, don't forget to tune into our next episode of YBC,
where young minds get filled with knowledge to impact the world.